go with, I don't think there's much between the two of them.
Oh, the good news is we have got some pictures from Munich. Hopefully it's of the football. It is. And the match has started. This is very, very good news. Hopefully it stays that way. Let's get some commentary now and say good evening to Matthew Upson and Sam Matterface.
Evening, Jackie. Straight into the thick of the action with Alaba receiving from Ribéry. And dealt with by Sadio Mane. And put out for a throw into Bayern Munich. You can see the rain coming down as it has been for the last 30 minutes or so. And that is what caused the problem in connecting us to you. You haven't missed anything. We've played just over a minute and a half, nearly 2 minutes now. And it's still Bayern Munich 0, Liverpool 0. Alaba trying to do something about that. Trent Alexander-Arnold dealing with the run of the Austrian defender. And it is out of play. There is Carlo Ancelotti, the manager of Bayern Munich, got his side to second in the German Cup, winners of the Bundesliga, but only to the quarter-finals of the Champions League, a record that they want to improve on. They're used to winning the whole lot round here. Matthew Upson is alongside me in the commentary box. Jurgen Klopp's ambition is to win the Premier League title himself. Today you'll get a clearer indication, won't he, of where his side are ahead of the new season.
Absolutely, it's a great fixture for Liverpool at the moment. It's going to be a real challenge, and he's going to learn a lot about his players in this match.
Franck Ribéry is fit, despite picking up an ankle injury at the weekend. Jerome Boateng and Ian Robin, who missed the Asia Tour, are supposed to be back from their ailments, but are not fit to take part in today's proceedings. Thiago, who flew home from the Asia Tour with a problem, is in the heart of the Bayern midfield. For Liverpool, they've got a few issues too, not least at right back, where Joe Gomez has joined Nathaniel Klein on the sidelines. Coutinho, now Firmino. Thiago on the scene quickly. There is Jurgen Klopp. His team has been in fine form. They swept aside Hertha Berlin at the weekend. It's one of 4 victories out of 5 in pre-season. He is back in Germany, spent 7 years trying to disrupt the constant flow of trophies in this direction towards Munich. Managed it once or twice. Here's Rafinha. Breaking ball looking for Ribéry. Just about stopped it from going for a goal kick. We weren't making it up. Ball giving the ball back to Bayern Munich here. Chance to escape on the counter-attack, Coutinho. Bayern Munich were straight on the front foot against Chelsea last week. A chastening 25 minutes saw Antonio Conte's men 3-0 down and barely able to get away from the edge of their own penalty area. So high was the Bayern press. And there's problems here for Liverpool. Karius coming a long way. And James and Lewandowski trying to make him pay.
Lewandowski just breaking the offside trap a little bit there. Timed his run lovely into a ball in behind, and pretty risky from Liverpool with so high up the pitch.
Here's Ribéry. Matip with the intervention. And here's new signing Mo Salah. He does have speed and guile, and he's scored a few goals in pre-season as well. Ribéry. Muller looking for Lewandowski. And Moreno was back there to stop the pole from getting hold of the ball. It's going to be all action with these two, you would have thought.
You'd think so. You'd think, especially with the way Liverpool have set up with the attacking 4. Really interested to see Liverpool's front 4 this evening.
Here's one of them, Firmino, with Mane on the outside. And Mane now in on the goalkeeper and in the back of the net. Don't leave the door open with this mob. They will make you pay. Jurgen Klopp back in Germany and Sadio Mane back amongst the goals. Not 100% fit by his own admission, but he looks pretty sharp.
Some sloppy play here from Bayern, but very uncharacteristically, but great pressure on the ball. And I have to say, Mane to identify the turnover there and get the run. It's a great run, great pass, and a lovely finish with his left foot into the far corner. When you play that many attacking players in your team, when you have a turnover in the middle of the pitch, it's so difficult to defend against, and Liverpool proved that with this lovely flowing goal.
Just like the weather, he can be lightning, and if he's running at you, very, very frightening.
That's amazing.
13 goals in 27 Premier League games last season. He missed the end of the season with a knee injury. Liverpool missed him. But they do have an awesome foursome that have been selected up top today. And if Bayern Munich are not careful, they will get caught on the counter. It was always a possibility. It only took 7 minutes for Liverpool to inflict some damage.
Yeah, it's not a good start. It's a sloppy start from Bayern. You know, you cannot afford to be sloppy in that area of the pitch. You know, that middle area of the pitch, if you're going to have control of the ball, you're going to move the ball around, it has to be secure. And they didn't do that there. So when Liverpool stole it, they're on the front foot. Great finish from Mane.
Jurgen Klopp did say in his pre-match interview, you can't afford to be passive against Bayern Munich, otherwise you always lose. Certainly his team aren't built for that.
So it's not often you see a Jurgen Klopp's team passive.
It's not often you see Jurgen Klopp passive. They've had a mixed pre-season of Bayern Munich. They dominated Arsenal, lost on a penalty shootout. And they've been thrashed by AC Milan, outclassed Chelsea, but then was second best to Inter over the weekend, although the personnel was a little different. Jurgen Klopp said with respect to Crystal Palace and Leicester City and Hertha Berlin as well, the teams that they've faced on their tour, Munich are a step up. Although that game with Leicester, I don't know if you saw it, was an absolutely cracking match. Lovren seeing the ball back to goalkeeper Loris Karius, who's back in training and back playing again after a hip issue. Thiago hoisting it forward. Rafinha scored a very good goal against Chelsea. Sent forward rather aimlessly, and Trent Alexander-Arnold, who made 12 appearances last season, he sees it back to his goalkeeper with little bother. Here's Salah taking advantage after spot of bother for Javi Martinez. Chan. The idea was right. Liverpool might enjoy playing against a side that will dominate the ball and be open and attacking against them. Their big problems last year were against sides that sat in and said, come on, have a go, see if you can break us down.
Yeah, it's a big feature of Liverpool's play to win the ball high up the pitch and get in and amongst opposition teams and harass and pressure them into winning possession. So a team that sits off, they're going to find it difficult to play against at times.
This is Alaba. Decent looking cross. Lewandowski was underneath it. Lovren manages to get it clear. This is Coutinho. Bayern want to get things moving again. This is Muller. James Rodriguez. Alaba. Away by Lovren once again. This is the goal scorer, Mane. Good touch by Firmino. Moreno is scampering away. He has got support in the centre. Mo Salah is arriving. And it's a big save by Sven Ulrich. Well, that could have been real trouble for Bayern Munich. That would have been pretty embarrassing on their home patch.
That's fabulous play from Liverpool. Great build-up play down the left-hand side. Lovely ball across from Moreno. Just inch perfect for a one-touch effort. And he's gone to the near post. You just kind of feel if he could have tried to feed that into the far post there, Salah, he had a better chance of scoring.
He scored 34 goals in 83 games for Roma, Mo Salah. This is Mane from the corner. Henderson. Away by Lewandowski, helping out his defence, and Ribéry is on the charge. It's being held up by Alexander-Arnold.
Good hold-up play from Arnold there, really intelligent. Got back in, did enough just to hold Ribéry up and force him backwards and wait for help to come and take the ball from the front.
He's only 18 years of age. Missed the England under-19s tournament after Liverpool requested that he rest over the summer. He's got his hands full with Ribéry tonight. He just have left a little bit on him there. Hummels. Alaba. Now Ribéry. Muller. Ribéry again. James Rodriguez is engaged by Dejan Lovren. It's feisty.
Just overcommits himself a little bit here, Lovren. I'm all for getting tight and go and put pressure on the ball, but sometimes you just need to hold up and step away, and he gives away a free kick in a dangerous position here for Liverpool.
Concentration of the goalkeeper has to be paramount here because the ball will be slippy. The gloves will be wet, the turf greasy. Absolute torrential rain inside the Allianz Arena. It was 30 degrees earlier. Lewandowski is winding up for a free kick here. Alaba is there too. It is Alaba who strikes it. It's some way wide in the end. He's been at Bayern Munich since he was 19 years of age. It's a long time. Boy, haven't Bayern done well during that period. Winners of the Bundesliga in each of the last 5 seasons. Pushed by Alexander-Arnold. Interesting battle developing between Ribéry and Alexander-Arnold.
For sure, it's a big challenge for him this evening. You can just see there, he just rests his head. It's not so much as a push, it's just learning not to put your hands in that position. You know, you give the referee an easy decision if you put your hands on there. There wasn't much contact, but just try and hold off from putting your hands on his back.
Interesting to see what happens to Alberto Moreno this season. The Liverpool left full-back was overlooked. James Milner playing in that position over the course of most of last season. We heard Robbie Fowler talking about it in the studio prior to the start of the game, and now they've signed Andrew Robertson, who's only on the bench tonight. Would anticipate at £8 million he will be the first choice come the start of the campaign.
I would think so. You know, that they haven't shown too much faith in Moreno. They're clearly not totally relaxed with him at left back, and James Milner, you know, is filling in that role. So the arrival of a new young left back, I'm sure, will be welcome for Liverpool, and see how he does defensively as well as going forward.
And Mas Rodriguez trying to poke it forward, away by Emre Can. Firmino wearing the number 9 jersey this season, trying to battle his way forward and doing it well, and finding Mane again, who's on his bike and running towards the edge of the area with others in support again. This time his cross wasn't absolutely pinpoint. It's gratefully in the arms of Ulrich as far as Bayern Munich are concerned.
Firmino really using his body well there, kind of real hold-up play for a centre-forward, getting his body in, setting the ball wide. And this front three of Firmino, Sane and Salah is really exciting to see with Liverpool. You know, a lot of energy, a lot of pace, and very direct at times.
Could have an early issue here, Bayern Munich. Suggestions of a groin issue. No point in taking a chance in pre-season. Corentin Tolisso will be 23 on Thursday. Scored a hell of a lot of goals for Lyon. Arturo Vidal and Renato Sanchez are on the bench if required. Looks like Renato Sanchez is going to be the one who comes into midfield. Thiago is back on his feet again. Thiago's had that problem, which may well have flared up once more. I mentioned Tolisso because he is on whom a lot of hopes rest. If you'd seen him with Lyon last season, you know just how good he is at playing in that midfield role alongside Thiago. This is the man that everyone's talking about at the moment, Bayern Munich's Renato Sanchez. But for how much longer will he be belonging to the Bavarian club?
You have to say they've got great strength in that middle of the park. You know, the selection and the players they have available to choose from, you know, it's a real asset for the club.
Here is Tolisso. Müller turning and shooting from distance, doesn't trouble Karius. And now Bayern Munich will be able to make the change. Thiago, who flew home from Asia, no chances taken with him. He is a resource, a man that they put a lot of energy in over the last few years. Pep Guardiola was the man who signed him. His replacement is Renato Sanchez, a young Portuguese international. Didn't have a great first season at the Allianz Arena. Hoping for much more. Chelsea have been linked. Liverpool were linked yesterday with him. Manchester United too. Here he is, Renato Sanchez. Oh, they're trying to get on the end of that. Tolisso forward again, looking for Lewandowski. Goalkeeper has come out ahead of the pole.
It's a couple of times there where Liverpool have been quite high and balls over the top and looking threatening. If the surface wasn't quite as wet and greasy, maybe they could have been in trouble a couple of times.
Here's Ribéry. Searching for Thomas Müller, who was stretching but didn't quite reach. It's a little bit late on Mane. Rafinha just making sure that Mane knew he was still there, despite the fact that Mane had gone past him rather easily over the course of the first 20 minutes. First game we saw actually today in the AudiCup was a bit spicy too.
Some interesting challenges and unusual red cards in pre-season, but yeah, it's definitely been played wholeheartedly so far.
Oh, Karius just lost concentration momentarily. Solara has been whacked by Mats Hummels. Quite a youthful midfield now for Bayern Munich with Renato Sanchez and Corentin Tolisso. Jordan Henderson and Emre Can in the centre of midfield for Liverpool. Both these two sides have put emphasis on attack. It's probably at the other end they really need to improve if they're going to be major challengers. I mean, looking at Liverpool from last season in the Premier League, 78 goals scored, 2 less than City. As Firmino, who could be a rich source of goals, is failed 5 yards outside the box. And they scored 8 less than Spurs and 7 less than Chelsea, but they conceded a lot more than all of the top 4 sides.
Yeah, looking at them this evening, they're developing options going forward, and I expect them to score more goals this season, looking at how they're setting up in pre-season. But this is a great opportunity for Coutinho maybe, or somebody to have a nice pop at the goal and over the top of the wall, or even to knock and hit it with pace. But you feel Coutinho's going to do something there.
All eyes are on Philippe Coutinho. It's Moreno who hits it, and it's stopped by the goalkeeper, who had to react, kept alive by Can. And Lovren coming in at the far post put enough pressure on. He thought to win a corner, and the referee was having none of it. Difficult to assess just how tricky that save was because of the camera angle.
Yeah, we didn't get a great view of it. It was nicely struck, on target, over the wall. The side favoured the left footer, so it made sense that Moreno took it. But all you can do is hit the target there and force the save, and he did that. It's so interesting to see Liverpool out of possession. You know, when the ball's high up the pitch, I love the way they hunt the ball down. If the team tries to play out, they're onto their first touch, and everyone seems to know where the other one's going.
Referee says play on. Mane. Coutinho. Picked up by Alexander-Arnold, who's on the scamper forward. He's got Emre Can alongside him. Still going, Alexander-Arnold. Maybe just one pace too many. Should he have shifted that on beforehand?
No, I thought it was a nice idea. He just has had a slightly heavy touch coming inside to his left foot. The run of Can really opened it up for him. You know, the defender had to pull wide and allowed him to come inside.
Mane, can he keep it in? He can. Wasn't great defending that. Martinez and Hummels under pressure, and then Tolisso pushed in the back by Trent Alexander-Arnold.
It's a good save, good up and down, gets a nice on top of the ball. To get it up and down from that range with pace is difficult. He's done that well, and he's forced a good save in the end.
Liverpool apparently rejected £11 million for Alberto Moreno from Napoli recently. And they have got a big season coming up. They hope to be in the Champions League after a playoff which will take place in the next couple of weeks, the draw for which will take place on Friday. Sanchez. Well, one back by a combination of Coutinho and Moreno. Coutinho releasing Salah. There's something the referee doesn't quite like in the centre, involving Javi Martinez and the Egyptian. Every time Liverpool come forward after breaking, you can sense the panic in the Bayern Munich backline.
Definitely, they're very direct. They hit them with pace.
Alaba. Firmino getting back there to block the cross. Tolisso. Alaba. Ribéry. Picked up by Coutinho. And Salah speedily went forward and unsettled both Hummels and Javi Martinez, and the goalkeeper came miles out. Still trying to get back. Munich's aims are to be the European Cup winners with flamboyance and flair. They did hire Pep Guardiola for that reason when it didn't work. He did win the league in every season that he was there. They turned to Ancelotti, who is only the second manager in history to win the European Cup or the Champions League 3 times. The other? Well, he belonged to Liverpool. Bob Paisley. Coutinho. Just Tolisso. Now Renato Sanchez. Half an hour played. Who's happier?
Definitely Liverpool. At the moment, Jurgen Klopp will be happier. I just feel that Bayern are playing at quite a slow tempo. You know, they're having controlled possession there, but not really looking to be progressive with their passing. They haven't hurt Liverpool yet, really, and will be feeling that they need to do a little bit more to open them up. They're losing possession in these areas too much as well, and that's where Liverpool are really dangerous.
Very quickly they can move up the pitch at speed from that sort of area, and they will harm teams. Lewandowski made into a superstar by Jurgen Klopp. Robert Lewandowski giving his head at Borussia Dortmund, where the two were working together. Here's Alaba, blocked by Alexander-Arnold, and then away by Jordan Henderson. Here's Tolisso. Coutinho. wonder how much of a problem Thiago has got being withdrawn inside the first 25 minutes. How much of an impact that will have on that man's future, as it's the second time in quick succession that he has had to be pulled out of Bayern Munich activity.
It's always difficult in pre-season as a player when you're missing minutes and you're missing training sessions. You know, you really feel like you have to play catch-up at some point, which isn't ideal throughout the season. When you get the opportunity to play, you want to step into the team, you know, with a full tank of fuel and ready to go. So these minutes in pre-season and training sessions are really important.
Muller trying to get it back to Renato Sanchez, and it was loose enough to invite Liverpool to try and hunt it down. Ribéry's offside.
Very tight, looks very tight. You'd have to say he's possibly just offside, but it's a little bit concerning that Arnold didn't quite know where he was. You know, in an ideal world, I want him to be checking his shoulder, seeing where Ribéry is, making sure he doesn't get between him and the centre-back.
A little bit more concerning is the fact that they showed that decision on the big screen, which causes a bit of a problem for the assistant referee over on the far side, and highlights how close it really was. Liverpool did play in the Olympic Stadium in Berlin at the weekend using VAR for the first time. Here is Mane. Lovely skill. And it's flashed through the box. Salah is there. It's 2-0 Liverpool. It's his fourth pre-season goal. And he will hope that that form continues into the Premier League season. He will hope that the Bayern form does not continue into their league campaign. So much credit, though, has to go to Sadio Mane for his wonderful piece of skill which set it all up.
Mane is causing havoc on that right-hand side for Bayern there. They can't cope with his movement. They can't cope with his energy. It's fabulous play to hold up, see the overlapping runner. Ball skims across the goal and a simple tap-in for Salah. But Liverpool at the moment, you know, Jurgen Klopp referring to the energy levels of them at this pre-season. They're showing no signs of tiredness. They've got more energy, more running, and look far superior than Bayern at the moment, and well worthy of their 2-goal lead.
Well, it was a well-crafted goal and well finished off by their new signing, Mo Salah, who cost £34 million from Roma. Remember, it wasn't so long ago that Chelsea sold him for 13 million quid. Mane. Almost away again.
Martinez and Rafinha cannot cope with him at the moment. I see Sanchez is coming across to try and give them some cover. They find it very difficult to cope with how direct and strong Mane is.
Balance has got to be right for Liverpool, and Dietmar Hamann was saying earlier today that he felt that they missed the trick by not trying to get someone like Nemanja Matic. Is that the kind of player that Liverpool need in the heart of midfield? Is that why they've been sniffing around and trying desperately to get Keita out of RB Leipzig?
Yeah, Keita would fit that role brilliantly for Liverpool, and you know, that's fully understandable why they're trying to get him out, but it looks like they're not going to sell.
Rodriguez is waiting in the centre. Liverpool didn't deal with the cross. It's Firmino. And Liverpool say that, well, the suggestion is that he said he was going to end up trying to offer 300 million for Keita because that's the only way that they were going to allow Liverpool to take him. But realistically, it looks as if they're going to wait until 2018. Does that mean you go in light next season, or do you look for an alternative?
It's a very difficult question because, you know, looking at Liverpool with this front four, you feel like they need a definitive defensive midfield player, one that's not going to stray too far from in front of the back four and be physical and break the game up. And, you know, whether you try and get that now.
Here's Alaba looking to try and squeeze it towards James Rodriguez-Muller, and he seemed to collide. And Liverpool managed to get the ball away. That would have been a fantastic ball by Moreno if it had connected and gone through to Mo Salah, who seemingly had timed his run perfectly.
Just felt Moreno could have lifted that there. If it had just got a bit of air to it and dinked it over the top, Salah had the run on the back four and could have been in.
I remember watching Liverpool in pre-season last year. They played Barcelona at Wembley, and they were absolutely sensational. And they started the season pretty well as well, didn't they? They went to the Emirates and won the first weekend of the season.
They had a great start to the season, and I think Jurgen Klopp's pre-season, you know, they're difficult from what I can gather. I think he works the players very hard. He trains at a really high intensity, and it reflects in their play. You just feel that seeing them come January, February time is the real challenge to how hard Klopp works them and whether or not a Premier League season can cope with that level of intensity of training.
I remember seeing them in the early part of 2017 against Plymouth, against Wolves, with so many inexperienced alternates that were used during that period and cost them a cup run. Here's Ribéry, away by Matip. Further away by Chan, looking to try and release Mo Salah. Martinez does his job on this occasion. And Liverpool have had a really good first 45 minutes and have been in control. Allowed Bayern Munich to have a lot of the ball, and whenever they've lost it high up inside Liverpool territory, they've pounced.
What's been impressive with Liverpool is that they've been relatively solid and happy for Bayern to have the ball in these areas of the pitch. And you just feel with Bayern that they need to move the ball a little bit quicker when they get in there. It's got to move quicker than that in order to break Liverpool down.
More AudiCup for you tomorrow, of course, but on Thursday night we've got live Europa League football for you. 7:30 will be on air on ITV4. Everton trying to finish the job against Rosenborg. Almost looked like he was moving in slow motion there. Mane. Often looks like he's on fast forward. Tolisso. Almost found James Rodriguez. Idea was right.
They're the better kind of passes that we need to see Bayern make in order to be dangerous. Those threading balls that break the line and try and get behind the Liverpool back four.
Moreno. Chan is through here. It's Emre Can being chased back by Javi Martinez. Again, the communication between the Bayern Munich defence has been rather sloppy.
I'm not quite sure where Martinez is going there. He kind of drifting wide of the centre of the pitch and just allows that ball to go straight through the middle and nearly plays the player in out of nowhere. And yeah, it's not been a good 45 for that right-hand side of the pitch defensively for Bayern Munich.
Rafinha coming across. Is that something that will take time to work on? It's not like these guys are alien to one another, just coming back after the summer break.
Yeah, no.
Can it throw you a bit?
It can do. You know, they're looking a little bit leggy, I would say. You know, talking about Liverpool at the start, but you know, Liverpool look a bit more energy and willingness to run. It's just a bit slow tempo from Bayern, and it's reflected in the amount of opportunities that they've created so far.
Lewandowski is moving gingerly just on the edge of the centre circle. He's back and racing again now. Remember, Bayern Munich have already lost Thiago to injury in the first 45 minutes. And they've conceded 2 goals as well. Carlo Ancelotti, who may well make a raft of substitutions at half-time or just after, has got a team talk to give. Could get even worse yet. Here's Mane. Salah waiting in the centre. Firmino has joined too. Mane just waiting. Moreno was joining up and running down that left channel. And that's a late challenge on Mane. And he's had a bit of treatment from Rafinha already.
That's frustration. I mean, again, the turnover in the middle of the pitch, and Mane just identifies it quicker than Rafinha and the back four. He identifies the turnover, gets on his bike early and leaves them for dead, and he's putting himself in great positions to the point of where Rafinha's just resorted to kicking him up in the air when the ball's gone.
That's too late. Challenges by Rafinha on Mane in this first half. Both of them the product of frustration and isolation in that right full-back position. He's still protesting about it.
Can't have many complaints.
He's 31 years of age now. He's not as quick as he used to be, but you have to be absolutely lightning quick to keep up with Sadio Mane. Coutinho to take the free kick. And it's dropping towards that far post, but no one there to tuck it in. Liverpool fans will be absolutely delighted to see Sadio Mane back. I think the Premier League will be delighted to see Sadio Mane back. Over the course of last season, he certainly provided some brilliant moments.
Absolutely, he's great to watch, and when he left Liverpool for the Africa Cup of Nations and then was injured when he returned, I think he was a huge miss and a very noticeable, you know, hole in the team, if you like, with his energy and running and his pace, you know, and he backs it up with quality as well. He's not just a workhorse, you know, he's got real quality.
Well, it's been a night full of rain and thunder and a bit of lightning too, but it's been the perfect storm for Jurgen Klopp. 2 goals in the first 45 minutes. Sadio Mane with the first. And inside the first 7 minutes, him celebrating being back in the team and back amongst the goals. Did play a role at the weekend, played a role in that goal too. And Mo Salah gets Liverpool's second to make Jurgen Klopp animated, happy and satisfied with the first 45 minutes, which we will reflect on in the next few minutes with Jackie and the boys. At half-time, it is Bayern Munich 0, Liverpool 2.
Brushes?
We need some of those.
Stripper? Yep.
Johnston's Decorating Centres, sponsors of evenings on ITV4.
It doesn't.
All last season, Liverpool can see their goal and all of a sudden they get a bit shaky. So it'd be interesting to see how Bayern do. Obviously, Lallana's come on and Van Alden's come on. So a bit of change there, but they know how Klopp wants to play. They just fit into the same system, the same roles and responsibility. And if they get them a go, I think there'll be more changes coming.
How impressive has young Trent Alexander-Arnold been up against the highly experienced Frank Ribery?
He's been really good. And look, you know, I'm not surprised. He is a good player, we said before. But everything is, you know, Ribery's a clever player. Trent's handled him well.
OK, let's see how they get on in the second half. Liverpool leading by 2-0. Back to Matthew Upson and Sam Matterface.
Thank you, Jackie. The last time that these two met, Liverpool won a trophy. It was in a period when they were the Cup Kings. 2001, they had won the treble of the League, the FA and the UEFA Cups, and they went on to win the Super Cup by 3-2, thanks to goals from John. Being replaced at half-time by Adam Lallana and Eugenio Wijnaldum, and a different dimension to the Liverpool attack. It means that Coutinho has come further out to this left-hand side. As soon as I picked my phone up at half-time, I had message upon message of Liverpool fans telling me just how tasty their team looked, and they're not wrong, are they?
No, they're not. They're not, judging from that first 45 minutes. They've a lot to be excited about for the start of the new season.
That new season, still 11 days away. Still might be a recruitment drive before the start of the new campaign for Liverpool. They've been linked with Naby Keita all summer. They want that dynamic box-to-box midfield player. If that move is off, they have also been looking at Leon Goretzka, who isn't leaving Germany. I already mentioned Renato Sanchez. Bayern have been linked with Leon Goretzka quite often over the last few months, something that appears to be getting on his nerves. Start at the Confederations Cup. Here's Henderson. Moreno. Wijnaldum. Coutinho. You tend to think that the idea today will be to give quite a few batch of minutes rather than wholesale changes in the early part of the second half.
Yeah, it's always a difficult minute situation to manage when you've got 290 minutes back to back. So it's going to be interesting to see Jurgen Klopp's philosophy on whether he wants players to try and play a full game and then rest them fully tomorrow, or play an hour, or however many minutes he sees fit. But I tend to get the feeling that Jurgen Klopp likes, you know, to keep the same team as much as possible for this game and make a few changes and then change a lot for tomorrow.
Firmino trying to funnel the ball into the path of Adam Lallana, this time cut out by Javi Martinez, who is wandering, and has won a free kick. Much to the frustration of Roberto Firmino. He's no stranger to Germany, scored 50 goals over 4 seasons in the Bundesliga. One of the things we were also slightly surprised about was the number of empty seats inside the Allianz Arena. And we were discussing the pre-season friendlies that both of us have seen in different countries across the globe. And you said to me, if this was at Anfield, you wouldn't be able to get a ticket for love nor money.
Yeah, I would say so, and especially with Liverpool. I mean, Bayern playing at home, Liverpool were playing at Anfield against Bayern. I wouldn't expect to be able to get a ticket.
Here's Muller. Cross goes Dejan Lovren to touch it behind and away for a corner. Haven't had too many of these. Bayern Munich haven't had too many opportunities. James Rodriguez is going to take it. It's the Colombian's corner, which is dealt with by Adam Lallana. He's got it back again off of Coutinho. This is Ribéry. And here comes the Liverpool break. Renato Sanchez is having to resort to rugby tactics to try and hold up Roberto Firmino. That's a yellow card for him.
Such as Liverpool's quality in the counter-attack, he felt he had to make the foul there no matter what, and he did that, you know, quite obviously.
Trying to grab him round the waist initially, and then had to go with the two hands just to make doubly sure. Liverpool, of course, we still believe are pursuing Virgil van Dijk, a deal which may well go through before the 1st of September. Here is Coutinho. Firmino. It's good football by Liverpool. Moreno involved, Bayern just about getting it away. Coutinho's got it again. Skipping past challenges. Tolisso with an intervention. Joel Matip. Alexander-Arnold almost finding Adam Lallana. He gets it to Firmino. Almost fell for Wijnaldum.
Love to see five players nearly getting into the box there for Liverpool. You know, the energy they have, midfielders arriving, Wijnaldum almost getting ahead of the ball in that position. Such is the desire for them to want to get in the box and score a goal.
Also stopping Bayern Munich higher up the pitch there as well, weren't they? Winning the ball back before Bayern could get into their half.
That's a massive feature of Jurgen Klopp's teams, the way he sets up and the way he expects them to win the ball back.
They look lively, don't they, again in this second half, with Wijnaldum finding Coutinho and back again. Lallana. Alexander-Arnold. Blocked by Alaba. Salah. There's Moreno. Liverpool enjoying more possession, control of the game. Bayern Munich chasing shadows. This is Coutinho onto Firmino. In the end, James Rodriguez had to get back and do some dirty work. Ribéry trying to escape on the counter. Then Alexander-Arnold was making sure he couldn't get completely clear. Lallana looking for Salah. Offside flag is up, and Bayern Munich breathe another huge sigh of relief.
Lovely build-up play again from Liverpool. Very clear, simple passes and a little bit of magic from Coutinho. Lovely little flipped-in ball there. And that is marginal again. Really marginal. You just feel like Salah can he just hold that run just half a yard and he'd be in on goal for a simple finish for him.
Well, the pre-season workouts have been ramped up for Liverpool since they arrived in Germany. Much tougher than the work they did in Hong Kong. They went through a hard session on Friday. It's been physically demanding, as it always is with Jurgen Klopp. Looks like it's paying off. This is Salah onto Wijnaldum. Salah's kept going. Wijnaldum has two. The Bayern defence got a little bit lucky.
Got very lucky. You just felt that Wijnaldum had realised that Salah had wandered a yard offside and decided not to play it.
Ribéry at the other end. Looking for James Rodriguez. Dealt with by Alberto Moreno. Renato Sanchez. It's the back of Adam Lallana. Liverpool coming forward again. Salah will have the beating of Martinez for pace, maybe not strength.
this game really opening up now. You know, this battleground in the middle of the park is quite open. You feel either team's looking to counter-attack, but Liverpool look far the more dangerous in that situation.
Here's Rafinha. Muller's made a dart to the right. Lewandowski tries to... I'm not entirely sure what he was trying to do, because there was no way that any sort of touch of that vogue was going to reach Muller, who had made a diagonal run into the right wing position.
I don't know if he was expecting somebody to have run behind. He couldn't have seen a run around him, you know, just to hold the ball there. If he has to set it backwards, then so be it. But to keep possession there is, you know, #1 importance for him.
Martinez. This is Rafinha. Tolisso. Renato Sanchez pinging it out to Alaba, and now Ribéry trying to get the better of Adam Lallana. Bayern Munich just enjoying a bit of possession, and their supporters ironically cheering as a result of that. Matip underneath it. Lovren too. Muller is there. Henderson back to help out. How important, how much of a difference is it going to make to Liverpool that Jordan Henderson goes into this season with the hope of being fit for a lot longer than he was last campaign?
Absolutely, you know, he's the skipper. He's got a great work rate. He communicates well. You know, it's a very important figure in the middle of the park there for Liverpool, and somebody they're going to need if they want to, you know, really get the full success out of this team this season.
The Bayern supporters not being entertained by their team on the pitch, so they're deciding to do a little bit of their own merry-making. Henderson. Where do you stand on the Van Dijk situation? Apparently had a clear discussion yesterday with Southampton after being left out of a pre-season Tour de France. He hasn't played since suffering an ankle injury himself in January.
Yes, it's never ideal going into a transfer saga when you haven't played. You know, you haven't been fit and played. Having said that, he's done enough over the past couple of seasons to prove and to show that he's a centre-back of the calibre of Liverpool, and somebody that I think would be a welcome addition at the club. It's just a case of whether the two clubs can sort it out and get the deal done. I think Liverpool clearly want him, and he's at the level and at the quality to really improve their back four, in my opinion.
How long do you give it if you're Liverpool before they start looking at somebody else?
That's the question, and you know, thinking about that, will Jurgen Klopp settle for a second best option, or will he hold out and wait for the player that he really wants?
Wijnaldum trying to get on the end of Firmino's ball, cut out by Rafinha. This is Tolisso. Muller striking it from distance. Lovren away. James Rodriguez, who is signed from Real Madrid on a 2-year loan, found himself a peripheral figure really at Real Madrid. 11 goals last season. I wonder what it does for Thomas Muller, who himself didn't get the kind of numbers he would usually like. Here is James Rodriguez, missing the target.
Yeah, Rodriguez hasn't done too much in this game for me to stamp his authority on this team either. You know, we're talking two massive clubs in Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. I think if you're playing in that position and in that role, you have to play with real energy and purpose and have some end product.
Well, Lewandowski's always going to be the line leader, 43 goals last season. Muller, only 9 goals last campaign. And that's because he was playing second fiddle to Robert Lewandowski.
Did he have any injuries in last season?
Particularly. You look back at his record over the last few years, 19, 19, 11, 23, 26, 21, 32, and then 9 last campaign. It's another conundrum that he has to solve, because he's a player that's constantly linked with moves elsewhere. In fact, he was linked with a move to Liverpool. He's always linked with a move to the Premier League. He never leaves Bayern Munich, but might not always be the case.
Well, you'd be thinking if you got 32 the season before, you'd think your place was pretty solid for the following year.
You'd think. James Rodriguez trying to flick it through to Thomas Muller. The Bayern Munich legends sitting on the bench. Willy Sagnol was the one closest to us. Here's Tolisso, can hit them from this sort of range. Martinez. And again. Forward towards Lewandowski. Missed him, away by Matip. Further clear by Naldum. This is Sanchez. And that's short. And Firmino is on it. And it's 3-on-2 here. But Firmino might not need anybody else. Mats Hummels comes across and deals with the danger before it gets even worse for Bayern Munich.
That long strider Hummels just got him out of trouble there. It's a difficult situation for a centre-back being ran out at that pace, but he opened his legs, he positioned his body brilliantly, you know, all that experience that he's got, and dealt with the situation.
And we've hit the hour mark. And a chance to make some changes. Rodriguez is just having a quick chat with some of the coaching staff. Kingsley Coman is about to come on. There's Arturo Vidal. Absolutely sensational for Chile at the Confederations Cup. Big fan?
Huge fan. And if he was to get on the pitch this evening and play anything like how he did in that tournament, he'd certainly liven the game up for Bayern.
Rodriguez is off and Kingsley Coman is on. 21 million euros from Juventus in April after a loan spell. Worked under Carlo Ancelotti previously. Direct and youthful and can create. This is Muller. Come on. Ribery. This is Alaba. And Renato Sanchez. To Javi Martinez. Coman. Crosses by Rafinha and it's headed away by Matip. Liverpool have a chance to break again. At pace with Mo Salah. Tackle was naughty from Mats Hummels.
Just used his body well there. Firmino knew the contact was coming, held his ground and drew the foul. You know, Hummels had to go through him to get the ball and gave away a clear free kick. But Liverpool's work rate from wide areas with Lallana and Salah, you see them backing up the fullbacks brilliantly. You know, Salah's done a great job this second half in front of Arnold, of getting back when Ribery's running at him, he's doubling up, showing him inside into a tackle. You know, it's really demanding position.
Well, it hasn't all been, in the words of Rihanna, work, 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 work. Since they've been in Germany, the Liverpool players had a day off in Bavaria on Sunday. They took a cable car up a mountain and viewed the spectacular lakes from 1,600 metres up. It's been hot too, as we mentioned earlier, 30 degrees earlier today. Nice enough for a bit of sunbathing. And one or two even had a little dip in the lake itself. Might feel like they've had a dip tonight. Lewandowski trying to push his way past the Liverpool defence, and Trent Alexander-Arnold returned the favour. He almost took a little tumble over the advertising hoardings. Remember, the two losing sides will play tomorrow before the final. As it stands at the moment, that means it will be Bayern Munich against Napoli, live here at 4:45 English time, followed by Liverpool against Atletico Madrid. Sanchez. It's a decent cross by Kingsley Coman. Away by Adam Lallana in the end. Just needed someone with a bit more hunger to try and get on the end of that.
I think that's a great expression for maybe what Bayern's performance has been lacking. It's just that hunger, you know. A younger, more energetic players come on in Coman and whips a very dangerous ball across the face of the goal, and there's no one bearing down on it, which is a shame because the delivery was worthy of a goal.
Tolisso. Hunted down by Gigi Wijnaldum. Scratching his head a little bit, I think, Carlo Ancelotti. Work to be done for him. His work is finished for the night. Roberto Firmino off, so you can see Ryan Kent, who is the first to come on in replacement. Daniel Sturridge, who's been involved in all 5 games so far, yet to score in pre-season. Ragnar Klavan, the most expensive Estonian of all time, replaces Joel Matip. Marko Grujic is coming on too. It's the end of the night for Mo Salah, who has got himself on the score sheet for yet another one of the pre-season friendlies. All smiles as they go off as well. And that'll be good to see Daniel Sturridge. Henderson coming off. Apparently he's fit, sharp and ready for a full season. If that's the case, then Liverpool have got a hit on their hands.
Definitely, and they'll need him with the way the front players work. You know, the rotation for Liverpool is important, and this pre-season for Daniel Sturridge, you know, I don't think you can, overemphasise how big it is for him. You know, there's not a lot to talk about with him at the moment, but
here he is racing away. Not a bad first effort. Didn't have much support. Ryan Kent was busting a gut to get up alongside him. They will need that sort of resource. Criticism last season was that the Liverpool bench was not as strong as it should have been or could have been. Injuries did cause them an issue. You think that Divock Origi's not available tonight? Another option. I don't think they'll be using Danny Ings as much this season, or that much this season. Been very unlucky with injuries, hasn't he?
A terrible time with injury. It's such a shame to move to a new club and have such bad injury trouble.
Moreno getting there ahead of Kingsley Coman. Ben Woodburn as well, who's only 17 years of age, but has already scored in pre-season and has taken the title of Liverpool's youngest ever scorer. Coman looking for Muller, and it's behind by Alberto Moreno.
You just feel with Sturridge to stay fit, #1 objective for me. I think if he stays fit and involved in the team, his confidence will grow, his performance will improve, and then you can start to deal with the performance. But unless you can get on the pitch, it's impossible to do that.
Bayern corner taken by Ribéry. Grujic got a header on that, managed to get it clear. Picked up by Alexander-Arnold. He's got lots of options in front of him. Ryan Kent has pulled out towards this near touchline. This is Daniel Sturridge. Lallana. Good ball by Grujic out to Kent. Took it down really well. Lovely feet from Ryan Kent. Pulls it back. Grujic. 3-0 Liverpool. And Liverpool's free scoring pre-season is rumbling on. Really good move involving youngster Ryan Kent, who's just come off the bench, combining with the second substitute. And it's all over for Bayern Munich.
Outstanding wide play from Kent. Direct footwork. Cut the ball to the byline, and to have the head to kind of look up and pick him out. And lovely side foot from Grujic. I mean, the control on that inside the post. Looked like the ball was just popping back out of play. So whether that's an own goal or not, you'd probably have to say it was. The ball's hit the post and hit the back of Ulrich and gone in. But great play from the two substitutes from Liverpool, and such composure there with the cutback and the lovely side foot finish.
Unfortunately, that is going to be one of those harsh ones that goes down as a goalkeeping own goal. No one wants one of those, especially not 2 days before your 29th birthday. Poor old Sven Ulrich is going to get one. And Manuel Neuer, who's still got a bit of an injury issue. Tom Stark has played a couple of games in pre-season too. Vidal has now come on to try and come up with a rescue plan, which looks implausible.
He's got a bit of work to do. Lovely play there, Ken. Step over, cut back. To have the awareness to get your head up and cut the ball that far back, and then the side foot finish. So controlled, just hit the target in that position. Does everything he needs to do, and unfortunately he can't claim the goal.
Just looking at the scoreboard, have they ruled that goal out?
Well, judging from the score,
What would they have ruled it out for? The player being in front of the goalkeeper? Is that a possibility?
possible. I mean, but the ball was cut back from the goal line. Was there somebody screening the goalkeeper's view that was allegedly interfering? Nobody touched the ball. The ball went straight onto the post, onto Ulrich and in the net. So, you know, I can't see how anyone could be interfering with play from an offside position. Hopefully they've just not got the score quite right.
Cracking pre-season friendlies, eh? Communication has not been perfect in the over the course of this Audi Cup. Either way, Liverpool lead. And as we getting a little bit of a word that possibly it was ruled out for offside. I did think maybe that the goalkeeper was being screened by, I think it might have been Adam Lallana who was in the way. Ryan Kent was in an offside position as the shot came back in, but he wasn't interfering with play.
It had to be a Liverpool player interfering with the goalkeeper's line of sight from the shot after Kent cut it back from the goal line.
Sanchez. And now by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Either way, I think Jurgen Klopp will be pretty impressed with the movement.
Oh, great for the two subs to come on and have that kind of impact. You know, you can't ask for more. You know, it was direct, it was crisp, it was aggressive, good footwork, good awareness, and a really nice finish to side foot the ball from that kind of range.
Alaba almost found its way to Muller. Ragnar Klavan did just enough for Liverpool. Rich under pressure here. Took it in his stride. And Lallana took it in the chest. Here's Ribéry. Lovely disguised pass. Lewandowski with a heavy touch. Alexander-Arnold again there. Well, Jurgen Klopp's got a few troubles at right back, having lost Joe Gomez and concerns about Nathaniel Klein. He won't be worried after seeing this performance from Trent Alexander-Arnold, who did very well towards the end of last season too.
Yeah, no, he must be very reassured by this performance this evening. To lose someone like Nathaniel Klein, who's been so consistent for Liverpool over the seasons, to know that you've got this young lad as backup or can step into the team at any time. You know, he's done an outstanding job this evening, and he'll be learning with matches like this, playing against people like Ribéry on these occasions. He's going to grow as a player.
Liverpool face Watford away at the start of the season, then Palace at home before Arsenal at home. In between those fixtures, they have a Champions League playoff. Bayern start their campaign really at the weekend against Borussia Dortmund in the Super Cup. Here's Sturridge trying to dance his way into the Munich penalty area. He has won a corner. They don't look quite right, do they, Bayern?
No, and you know, in watching it, you kind of think, well, why are they off their game? You know, they've had a lot of pre-season matches. They're probably at a similar stage as what Liverpool are in their preparation for their season. And they look completely off the boil this evening.
Alaba's got a problem and wants to be substituted. He has now gone down at the back post. And there's another issue. They've already lost Thiago to injury. No Iron Robben tonight. Boateng yet to come back.
It looked like James Rodriguez went off with a little something. Looked like he was signalling to the bench and to the coach that he had a bit of a problem.
All's going well. Liverpool about to bring on Woodburn and Flanagan. Flanagan was at Burnley on loan last season. Didn't make too many appearances, 9 I think, over the course of the campaign. This is Christian Fruchtel. First of all, here's Flanagan. He's coming on for Trent Alexander-Arnold. And Marco Friedel has come on. He's a left full-back to replace Alaba.
Arnold's got to be very happy with his evening's work. 80 minutes, good finish. Just looked like he was cramping up a little bit at the end there, so I think he brought him off for the last 10 minutes.
Christian Fruchtel, the goalkeeper, has sat back down again. Here's Moreno. And it wasn't too far wide of Ulrich's left-hand post. Didn't need an invitation to hit it, did he?
No, you just look at Bayern's set up there again. There's a lot of players along the 18-yard box and penalty spot line, but nobody holding position on the edge of the box. It's too easy just to get a strike on goal off of a headed clearance there.
Vidal. Rafinha. Header away is by Lovren. This is Lallana. Flanagan. Hummels. Renato Sanchez. Vidal. Ribéry. Muller. Setting up Vidal. Takes a deflection. And it's snuck behind. Karius wasn't entirely sure. Had to scurry across to get to the post to make sure it didn't sneak in.
Didn't quite get the cleanest of strikes there, Vidal. Topped it into the ground a little bit, and which forced the deflection.
Which has now been adjudged as a handball.
Possibly. He must have played for it.
Has to be deliberate handball, doesn't it? You get the feeling that that would have been difficult from that sort of range. And the referees are allowed to make mistakes in pre-season too. Well, Lewandowski is lining this one up. And Vidal is in the heart of the wall. Muller in a no-man's land position, just trying to mask the wall. It's Lewandowski, takes a deflection. And Wijnaldum out for a corner.
Just a little bit more height, half a yard more height from Lewandowski there would have caused a problem.
Muller sweeping it back to Mats Hummels. And it was an intelligent and well-crafted set piece, which almost led to a Bayern Munich goal.
Really interesting corner. Don't think I've seen that before, to play it straight along the goal line and then to sweep it into the box like Muller did. Good run from Hummels into that near post area, but Liverpool had the bodies in there to deal with it.
It's a game that's lost its shape and its tempo over the course of the 90 minutes because of the interruptions from the substitutions, but Liverpool certainly the brighter of the two teams. Maybe disappointed not to have a third goal to show for what has been a comprehensive performance. They might get one now because Sturridge is speeding away in behind the Bayern defence, and that is a beautiful finish. Now, has he hurt himself in doing Bayern Munich damage? You would hope not, but it looks as if he does have a little bit of an issue. He's got more than just a little bit of an issue. Big problems for Bayern. Liverpool absolutely sensational on the counter-attack once again.
Such bad awareness here from Bayern of where Sturridge is on the pitch, but he gets away really. I mean, that is absolute class. When we talk about Daniel Sturridge and what he offers, that is absolute class. But you can see the grimace there on his face as he chips it. I think as he decelerates just to lift the ball, puts a bit of tension on his quad muscle from the looks of it, and he knows as soon as that ball leaves his foot that he's got a problem with his quad. I really feel for him, because on one hand you produce something of real class like that, and on the other you know that you've got a niggling injury again.
Well, he's still out there, and you know there has been the accusation that sometimes it's more in his mind than in his body, but that looks to be pretty clear.
The facial expression normally tells it all.
The movement's not right, is it? I mean, he's not moving freely.
No.
He pulled up straight away, and you just do feel so sorry for him that once again, after proving how deadly he can be and how deft a finisher he can be, that he could end up having another issue which could set him back. You mentioned it earlier, pre-season, getting through a pre-season is so important for him this year.
Absolutely, and you feel like his body is letting him down at the moment. I've been in that position, and when you've got to kind of, you've almost got to reset yourself, and it's a real difficult puzzle and conundrum to solve, and so far he hasn't done that in the past few seasons, and it's really hampering his ability to play, which, you know, obviously you then cannot perform at all, let alone worry about the standard that you're performing at.
And then it gets into your mind, doesn't it? Every time you feel anything. Coman for Bayern Munich, who usually win the Audi Cup. This is the 5th running of it. They've won it 4 times previously. The only team that have taken it off them were Barcelona. They won't be winning it this time around. And we'll be seeing them again tomorrow at 4:45 on ITV. Liverpool straight after. Tomorrow night they'll play Atletico Madrid. Here's Kingsley Coman. Sanchez hunted down by Adam Lallana, who gives away a free kick. And Daniel Sturridge's night is over. And there will be concern on the Liverpool bench once again. There'll be sympathy for him. Dominic Solanke is on. Sanchez is striking. What's going through his mind now?
Oh, I can't begin to kind of go through how he must be feeling, because, like I said, on one hand you're producing something of that level of ability and class, and there you see the grimace on his face of he knows he's tweaked his quad muscle and he's coming off. And if I was him, I'd be walking away thinking, I've got to do something different. I have to reset, and I have to do something completely out of the box to what I've already done and commit to it fully and see where it takes me.
Dominic Solanke has come on to replace him, and he's the young lad that they got from Chelsea. And compensation around about £3 million. No compensation to the Bayern Munich fans who have endured that 87 minutes. I don't think they're sticking around for much more. Solanke's had a good start to his Liverpool career. He scored a header on Saturday against Hertha Berlin. He's been on the score sheet a couple of times already in pre-season. And he actually started the game on Saturday against Hertha Berlin because of an injury to Divock Origi in the warm-up. Wasn't slated to start the match, but ended up doing so and scored. And little tussle. Arturo Vidal. And Adam Lallana being broken up by Dominic Solanke. A yellow card for Vidal. A yellow card for Lallana.
Well, we knew Vidal would have an impact of some kind.
I see today that Winston Reid was sent off during a pre-season friendly as well. I thought it was an unwritten rule that yellow cards and red cards don't really get dished out during these tournaments.
Well, apparently not. Apparently not. And there's been a couple of fouls that have been let go, to be honest. I felt like Rafinha could have had a yellow card easily in the first half, and the referee refrained. But I think red cards in these competitions are pretty unnecessary, to be honest.
Poor old Winston Reid, and I haven't seen the challenge, he got booked for one challenge and then sent off for dissent, I think, or the other way around today.
I think a polite asking of the manager to remove him from the pitch is probably appropriate in some of these competitions or pre-season matches.
1 minute of normal time to go. I don't think the Bayern Munich fans want there to be any more in terms of stoppage time. Here's Ryan Kent. Still going. An experienced defender like Mats Hummels diving in that circumstance is not advisable, is it?
No, but for me it just shows you how vulnerable he feels, you know, in terms of his surroundings. You know, Bayern haven't looked like that they've had any real structure or know-how of where each other are on the pitch. So, you know, individually it leads you to make choices like that are more out of panic and not being reassured than anything.
Flanagan. Liverpool's unbeaten pre-season will continue. Jurgen Klopp did say that this would be the perfect test to see where his team lie ahead of the new season. I think we've discovered they're in pretty good shape.
Well, if he's using this as a benchmark, then he's got to be pretty pleased. And you know, another game tomorrow. It's going to be interesting how he juggles his squad.
Liverpool will face Atletico Madrid in the final of the Audi Cup after they continue their pre-season purple patch. Goals in the first half took them away from Carlo Ancelotti's team. Daniel Sturridge finished it off in the second half with a third Liverpool goal. There was one disallowed midway through that second half as well. A comprehensive victory for Jurgen Klopp on his return to Germany. It has finished in the Allianz Arena. Bayern Munich 0, Liverpool 3.
Wow, what a stunning night for Liverpool and their supporters. We'll have all the analysis when we come back from Paul Ince and Robbie Fowler.
Mr. Green sponsors late night entertainment on ITV4.